Here in Annapolis. Penn State and Army, the third of 4 quarterfinal matchups this weekend. Duke and Virginia advancing yesterday. Johns Hopkins Notre Dame is our second game of the afternoon. Chase Mullins, the North Carolina transfer at the dot for Penn State. Will Coletti, top 10 nationally in face-off win percentage for Army. And Army controls the opening draw. They go to work on offense. School record 13 wins for the Black Knights. Penn State in round 1 rallied from 7-1 down to upend Princeton. Their 4th win against the Ivy League this season, having already beaten Cornell, Yale, and Penn, making Penn State. We talked to him this week. There is a quiet confidence on this Black Knights team. No shortage of leadership. When you enroll at West Point, they lost so much from last year. They've had to deal with injuries in the fall, during the season. Next man up all the way, and there's Army off the ground, Deacon Donaldson.
There were no expectations for this group preseason, quite honestly, nationally.
Army's head coach, second quarterfinal appearance, got there in 2010 after a win against Syracuse in round 1. Army fell to Maryland in the quarters that year. They beat Maryland, the defending champion, last week.
Their motto, family, toughness, tradition.
Face-off violation on Army. It's first.
By a whisker.
The whistle on the face-offs, warding off called. And it belongs to Penn State.
I tell you, Penn State's done a better job this year defensively. They've improved their goals against by a former player for the Utah Utes.
Now in his 3rd season with Penn State, Mr. Gambini. Costin coming into the game was 1 for his last 14 shooting. That's Sam Sweeney, green and white off the face-off wings. Final 30 seconds of the first quarter. Penn State, older brother Tripp played for the Nittany Lions as well. Final 5 seconds. Here's Hawes off the wing. Quarter number 1 in the books. Penn State closes with a quarter. 4 unanswered goals to close the opening stanza.
Biggest concern for me right now for Army as they win that face-offs. Will they lose 4 in a row there?
Penn State's sizable face-off advantage in that opening quarter, 5 out of 7.
And Will Coletti and Army will need to win that matchup.
Coletti better than 60%, top 10 nationally.
Moments, those gray area moments in the game, they convert.
They pounce. Mullins and Coletti back at it. Army scoops. It's Pilot. Patriot League Defensive Player of the Year, just a sophomore. Army or Penn State. Virginia will get Hopkins or Notre Dame.
No surprises. I do want to congratulate Michigan for their breakthrough season. And Georgetown, after an 0-3 start, putting things together and making some noise in May.
Only took 1 shot against Maryland. Came into the game leading Army in goals, assists, and points.
We zoomed with him, was it on Thursday? He is a law and legal studies major at West Point. I'm really impressed with his temperament, with his intelligence. Like, when you meet these guys on this West Point team, all of a sudden you're playing with 5, not 6. That stings. You're going to have to play with a shaft that's slightly heavier.
TJ Malone, 4 assists in round 1, 3 goals in the quarters. And we'll get a hold. It's against Army, so Penn State with a chance to tack on. Final 30 seconds.
Like in hockey, you can keep playing with
in his class. In 2019, as a freshman running second midfield, he scored 30 goals. He was Grant Amen's understudy on those teams in 2019 and 2020. I can't tell you how many times Grant Amen has told me this kid's going to be a really good player. Injuries derailed his career the last couple of seasons. Fully healthy, he's showing the explosiveness, the burst. And so far, he's got 10 points in this NCAA tournament, 6 last week, 4 goals today.
He's a pro-level athlete.
Down 2 men. And then costing a big trail check, denying a potential goal late in that first half.
The adjustments that have had to have happened are on Army's side here. Fix the face-off. Find a way to score a non-6-on-6, a non-half-field goal. And then what are you doing in your settled sets offensively?
And for Penn State, 1 key injury in that first half. Jack Posey, their senior captain, their top cover guy in his class. In 2019, as a freshman running second midfield, he scored 30 goals. He was Grant Amen's understudy on those teams in 2019 and 2020. I can't tell you how many times Grant Amen has told me this kid's going to be a really good player. Injuries derailed his career the last couple of seasons. Fully healthy, he's showing the explosiveness, the burst. And so far, he's got 10 points in this NCAA tournament, 6 last week, 4 goals today.
He's a pro-level athlete.
Last week, and they continue to find a way all season.
Now's the time to rely on those core values. Toughness on the field, toughness in the classroom, toughness in life.
Faceoff violation against Army.
They read a book in the offseason, and The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. Well, there's clearly obstacles right here. But if you watch this team, vision of that pass, I mean, it's right on the money. If you're Matt Trainer, the sophomore from Malvern Prep, and that's what you dream about. I mean, he puts it right in your stick, and so your eyes can then turn toward the goal, locate the goalie, and see net.
And that's what Army needed. Will Coletti, the 11th goal of his career, the 7th this season. Sophomore from Monrovia, Maryland. He's a kid that can dodge a pole like we saw Petey LaSala do yesterday. He is a threat off of a face-off win. And if you're Army and you're wondering where does the comeback start, it starts at X.
Sophomore from Western Maryland, the Frederick area, Linganore High School. Okay, he's whistle ready. Now watch him sniff this out. His eyes are up. He's got enough wheels to beat that initial man. They don't respect him as a shooter. This guy's toughness personified. He loves the UFC, and he treats each week like a heavyweight fight.
A cage match.
So he trains all week with this moment, that wrestler, that one-on-one battle mentality.
Mullins jumped early. Face-off win for Army.
So you see him knock Stent, their goalie makes some stops. Coletti's part of the comeback equation, absolutely, 10 and block.
Coletti and Mullins back at it. Coletti back-to-back goals now for Army after Penn State opened up a 5-goal edge at 9-4. Coletti and Mullins back at it. Coletti punches it ahead. Coletti through the defense, bouncer too high. And with 10.5 seconds to go, Army's got one more shot here to make this, but they've scored on 9. For Army, a little 2-goal run to close the third quarter. Let's see if they can build off of that. Will Coletti starting to get some momentum at the faceoff X.
This quarterfinal round, it's the payoff round. It's the dream come true round. You win, you advance the championship weekend.
I'm stealing your line here. Nobody remembers a quarterfinal loser.
Army's been resurgent now. I like the way they're playing in the last 5 minutes.
O'Connor, who scored the previous goal with the assist. That's 3 straight for Army. Make it, take it. Coletti pushing through the defense, shoots. Body save, Frasian. It's going to go back to Army, Quint.
Not sure what the call was. From range with his lefty cannon, Winkoff makes it a 3-goal game, but here we go.
Face-off violation on Penn State. Army's got it again. Army in this half has won 7 of the 9 face-offs.
Penn State now leaning on the zone defense.
The goal for Fellows. Joe Albarisi told us last week, this is a kid as a freshman. He's a leader.
A leader amongst leaders. If you're at a place like West Point or here at the Naval Academy. I will say one thing about that zone, Anish. We'll probably see it again here. You can't stand around. Zone defense doesn't mean stand there doing nothing. It means move your feet, play your man in your area. You've got support.
And Chase Mullins. And this game of many becomes a game of 2 for the moment. Fournier, another huge ground ball. He had a huge one at the end of the Maryland game last week in the near corner.